ABC Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.
Ladies and gentlemen, please fasten your seatbelts.
It's normal. We were 1,000 miles off course. Mayday! Mayday! They're looking for us in the wrong place.
Where are we?
You don't seem afraid at all. I don't understand that.
I've just been through a trauma here, okay?
We've all been through a trauma. Give it a break.
I'm having contractions.
You're gonna be okay.
We have to go back for him.
Did anybody say that?
If you see or hear anything, run.
Lost premieres Wednesday, September 22nd, 8/7 Central, only on ABC.
Hey, isn't that the guy that always complains about his coverage?
Yeah.
So we ever going to do anything about it?
Yes.
Excuse me, bringing this back, it's not working.
Genius.
You're welcome.
Switch to Altel and get a wireless network that actually works.
You know how to defer the taxes of the sale of your real estate?
Do you know how zoning can impact the value of your property?
Do you know how to realize your property's full development potential?
You need the resources and depth of a national commercial real estate firm.
An aggressive, comprehensive marketing plan.
Professional analysis to determine if it's better to lease your property or sell it.
Business and real estate valuation services.
Prudential Crest can help you realize your potential with regional expertise and dominance.
Do you know what your business is
Do you
worth?
know what your business is worth?
Do you know what your business is worth?
We do.
This is WWAY News Channel 3.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for staying up late with us. Kim Ratcliffe has the night off. Hurricane Ivan's 160-mile-per-hour winds have brushed the island of Cuba, and now the storm is setting its sights on the U.S. Gulf Coast. The evacuation orders could come out as early as tomorrow. ABC's Eric Hong tonight has our big story.
Along the Florida Panhandle, residents and tourists took a final walk on the beach to enjoy the sand and surf. With Ivan bearing down on the U.S. Gulf Coast, officials in some communities have begun ordering mandatory evacuations.
It can't get much worse than this. I mean, it's a level 5 hurricane, about one of the strongest I think they've seen in a long time, and it's heading this way. I mean, it's time to leave.
Already, the hurricane has claimed dozens of lives in the Caribbean. In Cuba, President Fidel Castro delivered weather reports on TV as the powerful storm battered that country's western coast. If Ivan makes landfall in Florida, it would be the third hurricane to strike the state since mid-August, though the storm is expected to spare counties that were ravaged by Charlie and Francis. Despite the danger, some are taking a wait-and-see approach, hoping Ivan will lose strength in the coming days.
I've got a house in Gulf Breeze up on high ground that's built to the new codes, the Hurricane 5 codes that they just passed as Andrew hit South Florida. Portable generator, I'm ready to go.
That would be a mistake, say officials. As large as Francis and more powerful than Charlie, Ivan is one of the mightiest hurricanes on record.
This is not the time to be defiant or to kind of let people know that you're a macho man.
Among those heeding the warnings, U.S. oil companies. Already they've begun evacuating employees from offshore platforms. Eric Hong, ABC News, Gulf Breeze, Florida.
Only 3 Category 5 hurricanes have hit the United States since 1900. The last, back in 1992, Hurricane Andrew smashed into southern Florida, causing $26 billion worth of damage. Governor Mike Easley plans to appeal a ruling by the feds. They said Hurricane Charlie's damage here is not bad enough to qualify for federal relief. Mr. Easley is getting some help from across the aisle. Senator Elizabeth Dole has fired off a letter to the president asking for $60 million in hurricane relief from the state. After seeing the damage done by Charlie and Francis, Mrs. Dole says she's convinced victims need federal money to fully rebuild and recover. Chief Meteorologist Mark McGinnis is joining us tonight from the Storm Track 3 Weather Lab, not only talking about Ivan, but another storm that we need to keep an eye on.
Yeah, potentially, John. TD11 developed earlier today, but obviously it's Ivan grabbing all the attention. Category 5 hurricane now in the Gulf of Mexico, folks. Check out the satellite perspective. You can see the clouds streaming up from the south, and we now have hurricane watches up from the coast of Louisiana. That includes New Orleans, east to about St. Mark's in the panhandle of Florida. That includes Mobile and also Panama City. And, of course, everyone keeping an eye on that Category 5 hurricane. Back here at home, we're keeping an eye on some moisture offshore. It looks like showers will develop between now and the time folks are commuting to work on Tuesday morning. We'll talk about the showery Tuesday forecast county by county coming up.
North Carolina's film industry not nearly as vibrant as just a few years ago. With many projects going to other states, many local residents are forced to do the same thing to find work. Stopping that migration topped the agenda at a meeting on the UNCW campus. Jeremy Godwin has more on the story that is new at 11 tonight on News Channel 3.
We're serious. We're dying. We want to come home. We want to sleep in our own beds, be with our families rather than go away. And
these days, Tim Borden's job as a film producer often takes him away from his Wilmington home. He put together this meeting to find ways of bringing more projects to North Carolina. Greg Prange knows all about it. When his series One Tree Hill thought about leaving Wilmington, local and state leaders put together a deal to keep them in town.
You've got a studio, you've got as good a crews as any place in the country, so for that to go away, that's what the shame is.
Many of the people that attended the meeting that work in the business said they have thought about leaving North Carolina to go to another state for a job. Bottom line for them, offer incentives so they don't have to leave.
I've learned never to panic, but we've never seen it under stress like it's been for the last 3 years.
Herb has worked in the industry for over 20 years, and he hopes he doesn't have to move. Frank Capper Jr., president of Screen Gem Studios, doesn't want to see him and hundreds of others leave either.
We're just in the throes of getting these projects and missing many, many more. And the ones we're missing are the ones that are taking advantage of tax credits and other incentives in other states.
They hope that will happen in January. In Wilmington, Jeremy Godwin, WWAY News Channel 3.
Now, the industry group plans to travel to the state legislature in January. They hope to make a showing persuading legislators to help with more of those incentive programs. Screen Gem Studios is expanding. They've bought more than 9.5 acres of property next to the site off the studios off 23rd Street. Outside of California, this is the largest studio of its kind in the country. Company leaders do expect to see a boost in film production here in North Carolina because of the new financial incentives, okayed at least on a local level. Some New Hanover and Pender County voters are going to the polls tomorrow for the third time this year. Democrats and unaffiliated voters will cast ballots in one race, the primary for district attorney. 4 Democrats are running: Ben David, Russell Davis, Bruce Jackson, and Jeffrey Ryan. The polls will be open from 6:30 in the morning to 7:30 tomorrow night. We will have all the results here in our campaign 2004 coverage right here on News Channel 3. We have some pictures for you to see tonight, taken during an afternoon bank robbery. The robber held up the Cooperative Bank in the Ogden area of New Hanover County. He walked in around 4 this afternoon saying he had a weapon, but the man never showed one. Investigators describe him as a white male with a short, stocky build. If you have any information about this robbery, call the sheriff's office. It's the second robbery at this bank in less than 3 weeks. North Carolina is about to get tougher on some gun owners. As it stands right now, state law says it's okay for convicted felons to have guns. The cops argue that puts them in danger. In recent years, nearly every officer shot in the line of duty got targeted by a convicted felon.
Sometimes we're the last ones they want to see. You're going into someone's home not knowing what's in there, and like I say, a lot of people have weapons inside their house.
A loophole in the law has allowed felons to keep guns for hunting and protecting their homes. That changes December 1st. Lawmakers say the rights of the felons do not outweigh the safety concerns of the public. Another gun law changed at the top of this past hour. A nationwide ban on assault weapons expired at midnight. A federal ban kept you from owning 19 kinds of quick-firing guns. Well, now that's all changed. Local gun experts say they don't expect it to have a big impact here.
If somebody want to plan out a crime, you know, that required a lot of firepower, they would get that supply either legally or illegally.
It's kind of like cars and drunk drivers. It's not the car that's the problem, it's the drunk driver behind the wheel.
You can now buy several types of assault weapons, except for imported guns like Uzis and AK-47s. Those are still illegal. On Monday, we asked if you agreed with lifting the ban on assault rifles. A large majority, 68% of you, said no, you don't think it's a good idea to lift the ban on those assault weapons. 32% said lifting a ban is a good thing. We want to thank those of you who took the time to go online to our website, WWAY-TV3.com, and take part in tonight's online poll. Well, thieves may have dampened one local pastor's dreams, but they did not dash them completely. Pastor Ida Graham is trying to create an activity center for kids at the Ugopi Ministries in Delco. She says members of another local church answered her prayers when they donated a $7,000 swing set. But last Friday, the pastor realized someone had stolen the equipment.
Then I looked and I said, well, my God, the whole swing set is gone, except for the 4 legs with the concrete. I just went over there. I was so hurt, and I sat on that block, and I sat there and cried.
Pastor Ida just wants the equipment back. She tells us she won't press charges if it's returned. If you know anything at all about this stolen swing set, or you'd like to help Ida's efforts, you can call her at 431-6089. Across the state tonight, the President's National Security Advisor made 2 stops in North Carolina. Dr. Condoleezza Rice spoke at her father's alma mater, Johnson C. Smith University, Monday in Charlotte. She talked about the privilege of getting a higher education and the importance of following your passions in life. Later, Dr. Rice spoke about civil rights in a speech at Wingate University. U.S. Airways has filed for bankruptcy protection, and the city of Charlotte is keeping a close eye on the outcome. More than 5,700 people work for U.S. Airways at its hub in Charlotte. Company President Bruce Lakefield plans to restructure the airline into a low-cost carrier. Despite a second bankruptcy in 2 years, Lakefield says the airline is in no danger of shutting down right now. Crews have reopened part of US 29 near Greensboro after a deadly pileup involving 9 cars and 2 tractor trailers. It happened during the morning rush hour at a Jeb Road. 1 person died, at least 6 others got hurt. Troopers say one of the trucks slammed into a car that slowed down because of road work. That set off a chain reaction. No word on any charges against the truck driver. We have some dramatic videotape to show you tonight. It's taken from a police dashboard camera in Wisconsin. A 23-year-old suspect led police on a chase that topped 100 miles an hour. Watch, though, as the man slows down. He'll open the car door and throw out a baby still strapped in a child's safety seat. But the baby is okay tonight, back with its mother. The suspect later wrecked his car and died from his injuries. Now take a look at these pictures. It's tough to tell just what's keeping this car from plunging off Interstate 696 in Detroit. Cops had to close the freeway because of that crash. Not many details on the wreck tonight. We do know the driver got ejected at impact and was taken to a local hospital. 2 more U.S. governors have received tainted pieces of mail. The governors of Virginia and West Virginia got letters this morning rigged to catch fire when they open. At least 15 state leaders report getting the same letters in the past week. They all have a return address of a maximum security prison in Nevada. Investigators have questioned 2 inmates from that prison. Iraqi rebels want the world to know they've beheaded another prisoner. They released that video they say proves it. We've got the story coming up in a moment. Also tonight, this might come as a surprise to you. The big SUVs may not be the fortress on the road you think they are. Stick around for safety news when we come back on News Channel 3.
And looking at your coastal forecast for Tuesday, mostly cloudy skies, chance of scattered showers and seas right around 4 feet with the easterly wind at 10 to 15 knots. You want to check out the waves? You can do it online with WBLiveSurf.com. Coming up in just a little bit, we'll track showers with Pinpoint Futurecast and, of course, have the latest on the tropics with your Storm Track 3 forecast.
You're watching WWAY News Channel 3 at 11 with Jon Evans, Kim Ratcliffe,
Chief Meteorologist Mark McGinnis with your Storm Track 3 forecast and Sports with Gene Martin. Surf Forecast is sponsored by Saturn of Wilmington and Sweetwater Surf Shop.
I'm Governor Mike Easley, running for re-election, and I sponsored this ad.
The Charlotte Observer said this ad for Patrick Ballantyne is deceptive and misleading. Now his hometown newspaper says Ballantyne is not telling the truth about our students' test scores. In fact, test scores are way up. And the truth is, as a state legislator, Ballantyne voted against teacher raises and against smaller classes. Patrick Ballantyne. Can't trust him on education, can't trust him to tell the truth.
Have you ever heard the expression, actions speak louder than words? Hi, I'm Bruce Jackson, candidate for district attorney on September 14th. I have over 35 years experience in law enforcement and as a trial attorney in New Hanover and Pender counties. I am well prepared for the job. On September 14th, please vote for me, Bruce Jackson, district attorney.
Who is Russell Davis? Former prosecutor. With over 20 years' experience in practicing law, Russell Davis has fought for the citizens of New Hanover and Pender counties. He will ensure the swift and certain punishment for those guilty of crimes against our community.
I'm Russell Davis, and on September 14th, vote to make me your district attorney.
Russell Davis, from the community, for the community.
Checking out conditions across the area on an early Tuesday morning on Live Super Doppler 3. We're not seeing much in the way of shower activity, plenty in the way of clouds. We still have those showers offshore. And on the regional radar, we can show you that, the shower activity well south of the Brunswick County beaches. In fact, over the evening hours, we've seen it dissipate just a little bit. As far as that regional radar, though, again, further off to our south and back towards Charlotte, if we can switch over, we can check that activity out. There we go. A little magic right there. Shower activity across South Carolina and also up into Charlotte. I don't know if you watched the game. They did have a shower or two at, up towards the stadium in Charlotte there. Here's the shower activity offshore. Not really filling in right now. You see some showers here east of Florence, but believe me, as we go on through the overnight hours into tomorrow morning, we'll see the shower activity really fill in here in southeastern North Carolina and also into northeastern South Carolina. Soaking rains, we've got the moisture offshore. We've got a storm system moving out of the mountains. This will move east throughout the morning hours and induce some of this moisture to move in from the ocean. Not only that, but you'll see a lot of it develop over the land as well. And the possibility of soaking rains, right now I think I'll probably back off a little bit on that and just call it scattered showers, possibly heavy at times, but it looks like it will move in for your Tuesday morning, and that means grabbing the umbrella. Right now our storm trackers are dry, a lot of cloud cover though, everyone overcast. Billy Gordon to kind of 70 along with Doug Hall and Shallotte, Jim Bauer, Boiling Spring Lakes, and Pat Adams and Caswell Beach right now holding on to the low 70s. So let's look at any shower development with Pinpoint Futurecast. Our computer model will take you through your Tuesday morning into the evening hours. Start you back at Monday at 11 o'clock and show you overcast skies across the area. As we push to about, say, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, we'll notice light greens try to move in from the area across, the coastal waters in South Carolina. By 8 o'clock, I think we still have the chance of showers over our area. As we push to the noontime hour, isolated showers move through at 3 o'clock through 5 o'clock. More of the same, showers developing and a lot of cloud cover. And that's going to keep temperatures down throughout the day on Tuesday. Out in the tropics, here's our big hurricane, Category 5 Ivan. And over here is our Tropical Depression 11. We'll first show you the forecast path on TD 11. It will continue to push off towards the west-northwest. And as we get into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, look at this. Here's Florida. Of course, here's the coast of the Carolinas. Be a little interesting, potentially, as we get into the beginning or the middle of next week. Now, Ivan, well, as far as Ivan's concerned, still pretty strong there. 160 miles an hour, 22 degrees north, 85.4 degrees west. Forecast path will take Ivan north into the Gulf of Mexico the next couple of days, bring it in anywhere from, say, New Orleans west to about Panama City as we get into Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. Now, here's what's interesting. Remnants will move northeast into the Carolinas as we get into Saturday and Sunday. That means the chance of more heavy rain as we get into the weekend. And unfortunately, if it follows this path, it also brings us into the possibility of talking about severe weather with some of those remnants moving in. Your county-by-county forecast for tonight, the clouds are pretty much already increased. We're about as thick as they can get. Showers developing, though, towards daybreak and overnight lows. Low to mid-60s inland, upper 60s along the coast. Your county-by-county forecast for Tuesday, lots of clouds, scattered showers, highs ranging from 77 in Southport to 80 in Wallace and Lumberton, 78 right here in Wilmington. Storm Track 3 7-day forecast, John. We're going to keep an isolated to scattered shower in the forecast. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday could get a little heavier, but again, it looks like remnants will move in Saturday into maybe Sunday. If the storm, if Ivan slows down a little bit more, we might have to delay it until Sunday, but something to keep an eye on.
Now, I noticed that TD11's coming this way, and you say Ivan may move northeast. Can they interact and one there's not gonna be a time frame?
Well, you got a couple days difference there.
Okay.
So Ivan would move through, and then if TD11
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark. Most people would think the bigger, heavier SUVs would fare better in a wreck than a smaller car. That's not always the case, though. Recent crash tests have some pretty surprising results. Here's our national correspondent, Julie Valise, with the story.
10 miles an hour. It's not that fast, about the speed of a common rear-end fender bender. But crash a passenger car and a sports utility vehicle at that speed, as the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety did, and both vehicles sustained damage.
People might expect that because SUVs are bigger and heavier, that the cars would do much worse. But in fact, the bumper mismatch was almost as much of a problem for the SUVs as it was for the cars.
The Institute crashed passenger cars and SUVs by the same manufacturer to see how different vehicle classes matched up in a rear-end collision. The Institute says only one manufacturer is paying attention.
The Ford vehicles, the Ford Explorer and the Ford Taurus, their bumpers lined up very well.
In crashes involving vehicles from other companies, damage ranged from coolant leaks to crumpled hoods, and had damage of $1,000, $2,000, and even $3,000. The mismatch in bumpers is the issue. Cars must meet a government standard. The bumper, 16 to 20 inches off the ground. Light trucks, including SUVs, don't have a standard. Improving vehicle design in this case means lowering the bar. And manufacturers are willing to do that. They've agreed to voluntarily change vehicle design, lowering the crash area of an SUV's bumper.
These tests are showing really the past. The auto industry, the insurance industry, and the federal government have already worked to solve the incompatibility issue.
Some have voluntarily changed bumper design in time for the 05 model year. Half will do it by 2007, and all say changes will be made by 2009. In Washington, I'm Julie Valise.
And still ahead on News Channel 3, a Caped Crusader gets a little too close to the first family of Great Britain. The full story when your late news continues.
This WWAY News Channel 3 newscast is closed captioned for the hearing impaired.
The last of the 04s are moving out, one by one. It's Chevy's model year-end event. This could be your last chance to get the 2004 pickup you want with amazing model year-end offers. Get 0% APR for qualified buyers, or up to a $4,500 total value on select Chevy trucks with GMAC financing. So get here soon. In fact, right now would be good. See your Carolina Chevy dealer today.
Want to keep your favorite timepiece running smoothly? Then listen to Reed's Jewelers' professional hints for watch care. Have your battery changed annually. Do not wear your watch when doing rigorous activities. Make sure your crown stem is always in the closed position to prevent moisture or particles of dust from entering the watch movement. Wipe perspiration off the watch and bracelet with a soft cloth. For answers to all your jewelry needs, go to WWAY-TV3.com and click on Ask the Expert in Reed's Jewelers. Get connected at WWAY-TV3.com.
For the latest in Wolfpack football, Catch my show every Sunday morning on WWAY News Channel 3.
Another videotape surfaced on Monday showing Iraqi rebels beheading a Turkish man. That story tops our news around the world. The video appeared on a website of a group linked to Al-Qaeda. Dermos Kumdereli says rebels kidnapped him as he delivered goods to an American base in Mosul. The militants later warn other drivers they could face the same fate if they work with the coalition forces. We're not the only part of the world seeing severe weather. In East China, Tropical Storm Haima descended today, the local government declaring a high state of alert. So far, no reports of any deaths. The storm is bringing in gale wind and heavy rains. Some residents have evacuated. The last major typhoon to hit China blew through 1 month ago. That killed nearly 200 people. In London, a masked man managed to scale the wall at Buckingham Palace. 33-year-old Jason Hatch dressed as Batman as part of a protest for fathers' rights. He made it to the royal balcony, where he stayed for about 5 hours before calling it a day. Reporters may have found it funny, but security officers did not. Hatch is the latest in a string of royal security breaches just in the past year. Big Board Sports is next. Gene has high school soccer action from Monday night. A different kind of Monday night football, you might say, when the news continues.
It's the century that changed the world forever. Countdown to the 20th century.
Everything was downtown. There were no malls, no shopping malls. She came downtown to do everything.
She used to invite the grandchildren on outings to go to movies in downtown Wilmington.
Used to dress up to go shopping at Belk's at 2nd and Chestnut.
Step back in time and tour the 20th century at Cape Fear Museum of History and Science. This history moment has been brought to you by WWAY News Channel 3.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. My knee is killing me. Oh, man, I tell you what. You guys hear that? Oh, that can't be good.
All right, ladies. Round of goodies for everybody.
Because Goody's Body Pain is a powder. It dissolves faster than tablets, so it gets rid of aches and pains fast.
Carl, it's easy. You just open it up and take it down.
Hey, Carl, you got a little touch of writer's cramp, do you?
Goody's Body Pain, just plain fast.
Ah, the joy of sticker shock. During Ford's model year clearance, just look for the sticker with up to $57.45 in total savings or 0% on F-150.
And now, Big Board Sports.
Well, the final 3 weeks of the baseball season began Monday night, and the New York Yankees will end this week facing the Boston Red Sox, but they will begin next week, perhaps, out of first place in the East. The Bombers were in Kansas City tonight, where they had a 3-1 lead over the Royals and looked to be cruising, but then, you might say, the bottom fell out. That's what happened in the 5th inning, because that's when Kansas City just exploded. Tyron Strutz on the mound, and he will give up a John Buck home run with a couple of runs aboard. He would take him deep. The Royals would go on to score 10 runs in the 5th, and they would go on to win by a final score of 17-8. Speaking of first place, it's getting a little precarious for Oakland, too. Just 2 games between the Athletics and Anaheim, and tonight they were hosting the Texas Rangers, and well, the Rangers pitching in a little bit of trouble. They are in the 6th inning now. Oakland is out in front in this one by a score of 4-3. Now, over in the National League, the divisions are pretty much decided. It's the wild card still to be settled, and the Cubs started the night. They were a game behind the Giants and tied with Houston, looking for that wild card spot. Sammy Sosa, he is also looking for a home run, the first one that he has had since the 26th of August, and he is going to get it as this one flies into the seats. Cubs put on a big explosion, and they do it for Greg Maddux. Maddux goes on to pick up the win to make him 14-9. So Sosa gets his 30 home runs, and the Cubs pick up a very big win, 7-2 over the Pirates. And there were actually 2 National League games played in Chicago on Monday. The Marlins were the home team. They had their game moved to the White Sox home field of U.S. Cellular because of the threat of Hurricane Ivan, and they took very good advantage of that as Cabrera will, with the bases loaded, going to get that one to fall in. A couple of runs are going to come in to score. Montreal goes on to fall as the Marlins win, gaining a little bit of ground in the wild card. 6-3 is your final. Still to come, the first night of conference soccer action sees the 4 Wilmington schools playing against each other. Plus, a couple of UNCW soccer players have earned CAA Player of the Week honors. They put up the numbers. You just want to put it on the board. The Big Board Sports continues.
The 2004 Mercury Mountaineer gives you a lot for a little. Room for up to 7? Got it. 81.4 cubic feet of cargo space? Got it. Highest owner loyalty in its class? Got it. Sirius satellite radio at no extra cost? Got it. Got it, got it, got it. But you better get it now. Well, you can also get $4,000 cash back. Time's running out. For additional discounts, get to your Lincoln Mercury dealer today before they're all gone.
You.
Deal with him, please.
I will try.
For fun.
What am I going to do at the beach all night?
Need some answers? Dial 511, North Carolina's new toll-free travel information line. This voice-activated system can give you current traffic conditions, construction updates, rail and ferry schedules, weather-related travel conditions, tourism information, and even info from other states. Dial 511, where your travel information begins.
Owning a home is everyone's dream. Last year, News Channel 3 and Habitat for Humanity made that dream come true for one local family, and this year we're doing it again.
Watch for our News Channel 3 Habitat House updates every Wednesday at 6 and log on to WWAY-TV3.com to learn how you can help make a local family's dream come true.
The WWAY News Channel 3 Habitat House project is brought to you by Wilmington Health Associates and Prudential Carolina Real Estate.
Welcome back. Welcome to the conference soccer season in the Mid-Eastern Conference, a league that sent a rep to the state semifinals the past 3 years. A little humor, folks. It is early in the morning. Tonight, Hoggard opened defense of the league. They hosted rival Laney out at Hoggard Stadium. Pick up the highlights as there we see the coach giving a little bit of encouragement on to his players, and it certainly had to work for Jordan Long. Long is going to get the goal there. However, Laney was going to come back. Laney would send this one into overtime before a free kick from Greg Skaminski is going to win it, and Hoggard is your winner by a final of 4-3 in overtime. Crosstown, New Hanover hosted Ashley, one of those clubs also looking to get an early conference win, and while we were turned away, Cody Arnaud put the Cats up 2-1 with the goal. New Hanover would hold on. They go on to defeat Ashley by that same final number. And keeping it on the pitch for their efforts, it accounted for 4 wins, 2 each by the men's and the women's teams. A pair of UNCW soccer players have earned CAA honors for this week. For the women, it is senior Christine Mingle. She is the CAA Player of the Week. She is the second time being honored this season. She leads the Hawks in goals with 9 goals and 19 points. And she tallied 5 of those goals, and a couple of them were game winners as the Lady Hawks run their record now to 7-0. And it is freshman defender Brett Patterson named as co-rookie of the week in the CAA. He helped the Seahawks win the Adidas Home State Inn Soccer Classic last weekend out on the very muddy pitch at UNCW Soccer Field. So the Seahawks now at 5-0 and 7-0, 12-0. Who says there's no great football here in Wilmington?
I never said that. Mark, you ready? Sure. Okay, Mark, take it away.
Oh, boy, folks. Storm Track 3 7-day forecast. Look for lots of clouds, scattered showers on Tuesday, a high of 78 degrees. We get into Wednesday and Thursday, a little more sunshine for both of those days, but by Friday, some showers start to move in, a high temperature of 81 as we push into Saturday, possibly even into Sunday now. The remnants of Ivan move through the area, and of course that means maybe some heavy rain and possibly even more, maybe severe weather as we get into the weekend.
I'll have to keep an eye on it for a while.
Will.
Thank you, Mark. Hundreds of people in Wisconsin hopped their way into the Guinness Book of World Records this weekend. 1,600 people slapped on bunny ears and did the bunny hop for a local hospital's 50th birthday bash. The new world record beat the old one by 100 bunny hoppers. Congratulations, you're in the Guinness Book of World Records for bunny hopping. We're out of time. Thanks so much for joining us. The news continues now with ABC's Nightline.
Wireless communications provided exclusively by Sprint.
When it comes to your family's television entertainment, exercise your freedom of choice. Choose DirecTV and enjoy access to over 225 channels, including 31 premium movie channels, over 25 sports networks, all your favorite top family-oriented channels, and commercial-free audio music channels, plus up to 55 pay-per-view selections each day. Call now, 1-888-777-5052, and order your free 4-room DirecTV system, including standard installation. Right now, subscribe to NFL Sunday Ticket and get 4 free months of our best entertainment package, Total Choice Premiere, with local channels. That's all of the top movies, sports, and general entertainment channels free for 4 months, a $360 value. Call 1-888-777-5052 to order your free 4-room DirecTV system, including installation, and get 4 months of our best programming free. Call 1-888-777-5052 and choose DirecTV now.
Need a hand?
No, I need a new car.
Whoa, I see what you mean.
Aren't you the 1-800-BAR-NONE sock puppet?
Yours truly.
Could they help me?
Sure. If you need car financing, even if you have bad credit, 1-800-BAR-NONE could get you approved in minutes. Going up.
1-800-BAR-NONE? You can? I am? Really?
Need a car, not a tow? Then call 1-800-BAR-NONE.
Our hero.
Mommy, can we keep him?
Everyone deserves a second chance. Bar none. Call now.
Easter Seals UCP creates opportunities, promotes individual choice, and changes the lives of children and adults with special needs. I'm Daniel Siemens. WWAY News Channel 3 is committed to this cause. Join WWAY News Channel 3 as we present the 5th annual Kathy Johnston Forbes Golf Tournament benefiting Easter Seals UCP North Carolina on September 24th. Together, we can make anything possible for our neighbors with disabilities.
If you've been in an accident, get help. Call David & Associates Injury Attorneys.